Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Samato. I'm your superintendent, and this is your weekly Connection update. Today, I really encourage you to read in the Connection some really great topics. We'll talk about them a little bit more in depth in a second, but just an overview. We have planning and setting goals, especially for high schoolers for the 23-24 school year. It's a safety tip for families section that is a reoccurring section every week. We'll talk about our school and district highlights, and we'll finish with our recognition. So let's get going. First, setting goals and planning. This section really focuses on high schoolers, especially when they're doing course requests for next school year and what that means. Folks, in high school, and all families should know this, in high school, it's very important, besides the culture and all the activities, all the learning that takes place, that high schoolers actually get a taste and things that they're interested in to really see if that they can expand on that interest in the future. Maybe something that was interesting to them will no longer be interesting to them after they take a certain course. That's what high school courses are all about, giving students that taste to see where they potentially may go in their post-secondary careers after high school, post-secondary. So this section really talks about that course request and selection process. Really take a read and take some time to talk to your kiddos about that if you have high schoolers. Our next section is a safety tip for families. And folks, no other way to say it other than we as a Buffalo community have been through a lot. We've been through a lot, especially lately, and I know that many of you, just like I was with my family when we were sitting down watching Monday Night Football, we saw some really tragic events that occurred with one of our Buffalo Bills players, Damar Hamlin. Our prayers have been with him, his family, the entire Buffalo Bills organization. A teachable moment for all of us. First, great news. We know that Damar is doing much better, but it is still a teachable moment about CPR and safety tips for our families and for all of our kiddos. It is a great time to have some of these conversations and even consider, as family members, maybe taking some of those CPR courses, understanding how AEDs work. And just a little tip, we have personnel in all of our schools that are CPR trained, and we have AEDs in all of our facilities. So really take a look at that section and understand that. Then we have our school and district highlights. And speaking of Mr. Damar, wonderful that he's doing great. We have a section there, students and staff show support for Damar Hamlin. Then we have another section, Lindbergh students spread holiday cheer throughout the community. Next, we have Franklin Middle students collect food, toiletry items for Caring Pantry. Then we have Hoover Middle students donate 1,000 plus items for homeless and families in need. And finally, our board members visit Hoover Elementary School this past week. So really take a look at all those great district highlights. And then we round off our connection, of course, with our recognition, Winter Storm Response and Recovery. Folks, there's no other way to say it but being Buffalo Kenton strong. And in Kenton, we were the exemplar of how we take care of each other in this community. So many heroes through such a tragic time. This recognition just touches on that, but I really encourage people to watch the board meeting this Tuesday as we will recognize some people throughout the town of Tonawanda and throughout our community, our Kenton community, that really did everything they could. And there's so many stories. These are just a few of those stories. We're going to highlight them on Tuesday evening and again next week in our connection, but really take a look at that. And that's where we close today. And folks, probably the most important lesson that we've learned lately is to always be there for each other. I can't tell you how many times that we've seen, especially in the past few weeks, just what great community we have here in Kenton and throughout our entire region. I really encourage you to really foster that feeling of giving, that feeling of service that our kids need to see all the time. Of course, we see some of these really scary moments, but the triumph from these scary moments is the most, and they are the most teachable moments that we could have with our students. Because together we are Kenton strong, together we are Kenton proud, and together we will help each other to move Kenton forward. Thank you so much for your attention. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.